I want to let you into a little secret, and the little secret is that although I've had the idea of Green Cities Foundation for 10 years, and it came into being 5 years ago and has about 500 august founders of all different walks of life around the world, I've never given a talk on it before. I've relied entirely on the website.
What is your name?
Ashley.
Sorry?
Ashley.
Ashley?
Dobbs.
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 Ashley Dobbs, yes, yeah. I thought, as you heard, I just looked up recently because it resonated so much with me. I thought I've got to come here, and having been here, I realised this is the perfect platform to make my normal speech on green cities. I'm going to do it in a very unusual way because I was thinking about giving this speech, and I thought, well, how on earth do you, in 5 or 10 minutes, describe what is arguably the most ambitious peacetime project of all time to build whole new green cities around the world in harmony with the planet? And I thought, what am I going to do? And I walked around the garden, nothing happened. And the next day I was on a train journey, and I picked up a copy of the Metro, and there was a whole page advertisement in the Metro, unusually, and it was written by Yoko Ono, John Lennon's wife. And it was very much in keeping with the theme of this seminar about coming together in global consciousness to generate world peace. It ended with the phrase, "A dream alone is just a dream. A dream together is reality." And I thought, that really is the essence of what green cities are about. So I thought that I need to share my dream with you. So rather than just tell you about it, I'd like to take you into my dream. So I'd ask you all now to close your eyes, if you may. And if you're lucky enough to have somebody next to you, if you perhaps hold their hands. If you've got 2 people on either side, do hold their hands. And I'd like you to take a deep breath in, and I'd like to imagine that breath coming from your left leg into your heart, right into your heart. And then as it reaches your heart, you want to feel waves of sort of relaxing energy just flow throughout your body, and then feel the breath going out the right leg. I'd like to do that again. Nice deep breath in, up the left leg into the heart. And now this time, any rubbish that's in your head about why doesn't the Wi-Fi work here? Why won't my partner listen to me? Am I going to get that credit card I applied for yesterday or not? Just let that out. All that rubbish just go out of your right foot. Nice deep breath in. I'd like you to do it another time now. A nice deep breath in through the left leg up to the heart. And this time as it comes up to the heart, I want you to send a big smile, like a big Cheshire cat grinning from ear to ear. I want you to send that smile radiating right throughout your body. Carry on breathing, just be nice and relaxed. Don't stop breathing through the rest of this presentation, please. I need your audience. But anyway, we've arrived now, we've all arrived together as a party to the Green City in the future. Keep your eyes closed if you can, just help you imagine it better. And we're looking down this long linear path that weaves around out from the centre of the city. And this park, unlike any other city built before, goes right out to the wilderness. It connects. So you can walk right from the heart of the city out to the wilderness without crossing a road. And it's a very nice day. It's nice and warm. It's a semi sort of tropical place, and there's a kind of scent in the air. It's like sort of a mixture of honeysuckle and rose. And the predominant noise is not traffic noise. It's you can hear laughter and you can hear children playing in this park. You can hear the birds singing. And as we walk along through this lovely park, we look up to our left and right and we see buildings all around us, but they're quite different to the buildings around us here in London today. We see buildings covered in edible crops. They've got vertical farms all around them. And we look up and we see one chap there working on his balcony, and he's just sort of picking a strawberry occasionally as he works on his device, the next generation of iPads probably. And we think, oh, this is rather nice. And so we continue walking down this park, and we stop at a little cafe, and we sat down, we immediately given glasses of water, which are complimentary anyway, which comes from the spring water that's supplied throughout the city. And the water tastes just so pure and fresh. And you think, gosh, this is so much better than that tap water we used to drink back in London in 2011. And we nibble on some nuts and some exquisitely tasting sort of fruits, in the knowledge that everything that we're eating has come from the local vicinity, and that there's not been packaged or has involved lots of food miles. And in fact, it's all been delivered here, grown locally through a common series of boxes and jars and packaging that can be reused in this city. So after that little refreshment, we then wander on a bit further down this lovely green park, looking at all these lovely houses, greenery from side to side, the trees are everywhere, there's a sort of dappled sunlight coming through. And then we stop at the ultralight rail station, little station, very discreet station, and we hop on this light rail and it whispers surreptitiously through the green city, whisking us around, and in a couple of minutes we arrive in another neighbourhood. And we're greeted by Pablo, who invites us in to show us his house. And he takes us into his house. It's a lovely house, it's got a nice clean feel to it. The paints on the walls are made with rosemary and orange oils that have a lovely scent to them. And Pablo, with great pride and a big smile on his face, explains to us that the house is 150% efficient in the sense that it produces more energy than it uses, and it also produces more food than it uses. And he explains to us how he was able to afford this house. He didn't think he'd ever be able to afford a house in his life. But because the house was made in a factory in the city, in harmony with the planet, and like the whole of the city, working to a sort of Hippocratic oath that everything in the city should be harmless to the planet, both in its construction and its operation. The combined cost savings of having it made in this factory, which made the cost of the house 50% cheaper, and the fact that the city had a local currency that enabled him to buy the house without interest, enabled him to afford this house for the first time in his life. But he also showed us some of the technology in it. He said that this house is kind of like an iPhone. You can change the programming, it's very efficient, it's all wired into the city runs very efficiently, we're very well informed, and we can work from home if we choose to. Anyway, we say our farewells to Pablo, and we're walking away, and we're reflecting how smart we were to have got this place, how clever we were to have been the collective energy that made this happen. And we reflected how this happened, and how it happened was somebody came up with an idea of Green Cities, and then other founders joined in, and lots of people joined in. And then we became a sort of collective energy, so powerful that in fact we were a bit like the Olympic Committee, that we were able to invite nations and large landowners to donate big tracts of land to become the sort of working capital of these projects, and from there flow these wonderful green cities. And as we look at this city now, we're reflecting that the world is populated by these cities, and it's enabled man to find a way of living in harmony with the planet without damaging it. And we think, and this is right, and this feels right. We are not ashamed now to be one of those founders that dared to dream something so wonderful. We set the bar high. There were people that said to us it was just utopia, but we thought, no, this is right. So you can come back to the room now. And I would like you to thank you all for sharing my views.